Okay, we are live. Good, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I am Victor, the king of the morons. You are a moron, that's why you're watching this show. Congratulations. This show. What kind of stuck-up son of a... Oh, that hurt. Welcome to the only guy on YouTube who can smell cancer in dogs. That's right. I think I can, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying. I've been smelling a lot of dogs. So far, I got to tell you, all the dogs that I've smelled are cancer-free. Now, the other day, the last video was a very mini Jnews flash video on the platform we are not Yoko. That's my wife, Tomoko, my YouTube wife. Just kidding, honey, Yoko. Tomoko is my partner here on YouTube, and we did a video on the subway quite suddenly about some things that I thought. That's some things that I wanted to get off my chest. I wanted to talk about because. That's the thing. I wish I could do this all the time because there's so many things I want to talk about, but I can't because I got a job, many jobs actually. I'm quite busy these days. I recently was headhunted suddenly out of the blue, and I'm doing morning classes every day now. Now this week the students we have a week off, so students are busy, so I'm not teaching the students. I'm not going to talk about specific stuff because a lot of nuts out there. But needless to say, it's a temporary gig in which takes up a lot of my time. But regardless, I am I'm still my heart and soul. Stole is a small fox, I think. No, it's an animal. I don't know. Anyway, they make stoles. My heart and soul is still with YouTube and talking to you morons. I like that a lot. And I made a list the other day of things that I thought were interesting because they are appearing in Japanese news right now. The first one I talked about on the platform was the astronaut video by Chris Hadfield. And I wanted to just expand, in this video I'm going to just expound a little bit, extrapolate a little bit on those subjects. The first one was Chris Hadfield, the Canadian. It was interesting that that guy, what's his name? That guy, Kevin, not Kevin Bacon. Jaylan Kevin, that he did not jump on this earlier. It took him like a week to get to it, so I'm surprised because he's Canadian. And those Canadians, they're all like, it's almost like incestuous, they're all so proud that their Canadian brethren did something, amazing. Which I don't know why, because I don't know why they're so surprised. I mean, Canadians are great. They should be surprised it doesn't happen more often. But one of the things that kind of struck me was how much, how some Canadians are just so proud that he's Canadian. I mean, I don't care that he's Canadian. I think what he did was awesome. I wouldn't have cared if he was American or Peruvian. I would have been surprised, to be honest. Sorry. Yeah, we Peruvians, we Peruvian Americans, we know what we're capable of and what we're not capable of. And I think Peru is a long way away from manning a flight to the moon or to any international space center. Anyway, but I was also surprised at how many students didn't know about this, because it was all over the news. It was on many news programs. It was on NHK on Tuesday night. The video went up on a Sunday. On Monday it was growing. It had like 2 million views, or million views. Then it went to 5 million views by Tuesday night. The next day it jumped to like 9 million, and then it's kind of plateaued out. It's died. It's at 4 million. It hasn't hit 15 million, But it's a great, for those of you who are interested in teaching, what I did was I took the article about the video and I rewrote it, and I put it over on Action Teacher so you can see how I did it. I rewrote it so it had some more useful vocabulary, because the original vocabulary is too hard. And I rewrote it and I taught it, and all my students, well, actually not all of them, but most of them were pretty happy. Well, no, they were all happy with the lesson, but a lot of people weren't as impressed as others. Some people were like, oh my god, this is great. And other people are like, who's David Bowie? Oh, that's pretty cool, I guess, that kind of stuff. But it's a good way to teach if you are teaching in Japan, or if you want to know how I teach. What I do is I do something that I think is called, I forget what it's called exactly, but it's kind of a flash teaching technique, which means, and I'm sure I got this wrong, but the gist of the technique is very simple. And I'm going to take off my shirt because it's so hot. Not all the shirts, so calm down, ladies and gay people. Or with bad taste. Gay people and ladies with bad taste. Anyway, but one of the ways to teach that's very powerful is to teach something that's in the news, that's striking a nerve or striking a chord with everybody. Everyone's watching that. It's a good way to teach. So going back years and years to a guy named Hattori. Hattori was a Japanese kid walking, 17 years old, walking in Louisiana. A guy said, "Freeze!" And Hattori didn't understand, so the guy shot him, and history was made, and everyone in the world, everyone in Japan learned the word freeze at that moment. So you know, being an asshole, I joked, oh, all we have to do to teach Japanese people is shoot 3,000 more Japanese and teach them and use a different word for each one. And then eventually we'll all learn the language, because apparently if you shoot one Japanese person and use one word, they can remember. Because everyone in the world, everyone in Japan knows the word freeze now. Of course, that's a very tasteless joke, but what do you expect? I'm a moron. And I don't ever say that joke in public. This is just YouTube. But anyway, so about that's how I do lessons. So because this is in the news, I picked this out and I taught it to all my classes, rewrote the article, and it was a great success, and I had a lot of fun. And the thing about my lessons is I put my enthusiasm into the lesson. So, and I think if you're a teacher and if you have the freedom, because a lot of you won't, if you have the freedom to teach what you want to teach, that enthusiasm will translate to energy in the class, positive energy that the students will give you back. The only hard part was a lot of people were born after 1969, which is when the original David Bowie song came out, Space Oddity. But anyway, it gave me a lot of chances to teach things like, what is 2001 Space Odyssey? And show them scenes from the movie, and etc., etc. Okay, enough with that, but anyways, it was a lot of fun, and Tomoko, you know, as you know, is a great David Bowie fan, so she really enjoyed it. The next thing was the Angelina Jolie mastectomy, which I always want to say mastectomy, but it's a mastectomy. And you know, I'm kind of annoyed by the whole thing, because although I actually like Angelina Jolie quite a bit, I'm annoyed by the media calling her a hero, and maybe even Brad Pitt calling her a hero. She's not a hero. She saved her own life. That is not being a hero. You know, when you survive an earthquake or a tornado, you're not a hero. You just survived. And the same thing goes with Angelina Jolie. She survived. Congratulations to her. She's going to be there for her kids, and that's great, but she's not a hero. She's a woman of means who made an intelligent, hard decision, and she did it. So good for her. And she is a hero for sharing her story with everyone. I'm not doing this to look good. I'm doing this because I'm hot. It's really hot right now. And I got the air conditioner blasting right down on me. But I'm annoyed by all the people saying, oh, she's a hero, she's a hero. Look, she had her breast removed, a double mastectomy, which in Japanese is called nyobo setsujo. And I had to look that up because that's not a daily conversation. Nyobo is your breast, I guess, yeah. And setsu is cut. And joy is like take care of something or avoid. I don't know how they put it all together, but that's mastectomy. Nyobo setsujo. Look at the last video if you want spelling. But it's all over the news, and people are talking about a lot of Japanese. To be honest, a couple of my students who've survived breast cancer were split over it. Actually, I've got, let me see, 4 students who've survived breast cancer, and 2 of them were like, that's stupid, she should just wait to see if she gets it. Get periodical checkups. You know, there's no reason to go off and get a mastectomy just like that, you know. And, you know, I don't think it's that brave, because she got the breast removed, and maybe this, I'm sure this is callous of me, I'm sure some women are going to get on me, but she had, like, you know, implants put in right away. Or not right away, but over this 3-month period, which is right away, that's enough, you know. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't think it's that brave a decision. She chose to do something that will increase the possibility of her living and surviving. Now, from what I understand, she still has a 50% of chance of getting ovarian cancer. And like I said, I'm kind of a fan. You know, I like her. I thought that video she did, Salt, a movie she did, Salt, was great. But yeah, she's not a hero. So enough with that. If you disagree, tell me why. You know, she is a hero for other reasons. She's a hero for promoting the adoption of kids who are not your own, because a lot of people are not above that, or not. They're not generous enough to share their love with another person's child. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think I would do it, but I don't think my wife would be into it. So, but again, for me, you know, having children is not a big priority, as you can tell. since I have none. Anyway, the other thing that was on the news this week a lot was the Oklahoma tornado, and they showed a lot of video on there. They were really on top of that, showing that it was shocking, horrible. But I saw on Facebook someone mentioned that parents who build homes in Tornado Alley and do not have a basement or a shelter to escape to should be charged with criminal negligence. And I gotta say, I agree. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Don't have kids and live in that area. I mean, what, really, are you stupid? I'm sure, come on. You can't be that connected to the land. You can't. It's just land. It's not like we've been here for centuries. Well, you know, it's not in your blood or anything. Just move to another place. Don't live there. I'm sorry, but I'm really sorry for all the people who died, but Jesus, what, this is going to happen again and again. Get the hell out of there. I don't know. Okay. The Doors keyboard, Ray Manziak died. Guy died. Wow, that's a shame. It was in the news here, but not a lot of people cared. Another thing that was interesting, it's very interesting, and I think it deserves a whole different video, so I think I'll leave it to that. I'll go to another video and just talk out of my ass. That's what I usually do. And what I'm going to talk about in the next video is the Hashimoto problem. I guess that's what it is, okay? Anyway, look for that. It's coming up in a few minutes, and I'll talk to you soon.